Chapter.
What's up, cousins? Welcome back. This video is going to be episode 3 of a new series here on my channel called Presenting My Case. Where basically I come and present my case for or against whatever my stance is on topics primarily relating to the natural hair and beauty community. But you know, if there's ever a topic that I feel like is just important enough that isn't in, you know, that realm of what genre or whatever, you know, I may bring it in the series as well as the series goes on. So you guys can tell by the title of this video, we are going to be talking all about the curly girl method today, which means if you guys are an OG cousin, you already know that talking about the curly girl method, everything relating to it, is no stranger to my channel. Just a little bit of backstory on my hair journey. Somewhere around 2014, I decided to go on the curly girl method just because I was experiencing a lot of issues with frizz, a lot of issues with maintaining and retaining moisture in my hair. I just felt like I couldn't get my wash and goes to last. I just felt like products really weren't doing anything for my hair. And after a little bit of research at the time, it really was starting to become like a real big thing. A lot of people were talking about it on YouTube. So again, you guys know, with my presenting my case disclaimers, this is not me saying that word is bond, okay? This is not me saying that this is Bible, that this is 100% the case for everyone. So the question of the day, the case on the docket, is the curly girl method for black hair. I have a full, long, extensive playlist on exactly what the curly girl method is. I have a video teaching you guys how to read ingredients. But for those of you who may be watching this video and have absolutely no idea what the curly girl method is, you've never even heard of it, I want to give you just a basic, you know, running definition of what the curly girl method is. So the curly girl method was actually created by Lorraine Massey, and if I'm not mistaken, she's either the creator or partner or, you know, very closely affiliated with the Diva Curl brand. If you know what Lorraine Massey looks like, you know that she is not a woman of color. She does have curly hair, but by no means does she have kinky hair, coily hair, black girl hair, you know, traditional natural hair, or anything like that. It ain't no type 4 hair or even type 3 hair going on. With that being said, she did come out with a book called The Curly Girl Method, and she did have black girls in the book. Like, so it's not like, you know, the curly girl method caught on. Well, it kind of is kind of like the curly girl method caught on because the book, I feel like, did come a little bit later, and then she put, you know, black influencers in the book or whatever. But it was, you know, promoted and marketed as a thing, you know, to be used for all curly hair types. Being someone who was strict, very strict curly girl for a while, and then someone who, after I learned how to modify it myself, turned into what was called a modified curly girl, and then I went completely off the curly girl method, and now going back to being a modified curly girl, I just want to come and put my 2 cents in on it. So basically, the curly girl method is just a list of things essentially that you aren't supposed to do in your hair. Like, I've talked to you guys about this before, how that was just really my issue with it in the beginning. It's just like, it's nothing but things you cannot do. It's a whole lot of restriction. You can't use any sulfates, any silicones, any brushes, any heat tools, any blow dryers, which later was, I feel like, kind of modified, and you know, exceptions were made because even Diva Curl has a diffuser. So I mean, you are using direct heat on your head, even I feel like when you use a diffuser. And so if you know anything about curly hair products, is that the vast majority of them are going to contain silicones versus the ones who don't. And as somebody who doesn't use or prefers not to use silicones in my hair because I am prone to buildup, I'm not gonna go into all that in this video, but silicones are an ingredient that if you don't shampoo them properly out of your head, they are going to cause buildup.
Debate your mama.
They have to be shampooed out. The Curly Girl method essentially said, you know, take all those products out, you will retain moisture a lot better, therefore having healthier curls, therefore probably being able to have a more successful hair journey and see other hair goals that you have, like length retention. Whenever I use products with silicones, my hair is always going to be frizzier. Always. Even on day one, even if day one hair looks good, by day two it's always going to be frizzier. It's always going to be a less moisturized feeling hair in the long run. Day one is going to feel okay, but by day two, day three, day four, my hair is going to feel super dried out. With that being said, you guys also know that I shampoo my hair. I am somebody who likes shampoos. Yes, I do try to use primarily shampoos that are sulfate free, but being somebody who is low porosity, there are times when I need to use sulfates in my hair. Just me personally really wanting my hair to be clean because my hair behaves better when it's clean. There are times when I use sulfates. Usually I go the route of a clay mask, and that is my declarify for the month. But you know, sometimes I don't have time to do a clay mask and I really need to get my hair clean, and I'm going to use some sulfates. There is a such thing as water soluble silicones. So basically they're silicones that have been modified to make it so they're more easily water soluble. Although these silicones do still need to be shampooed out eventually, the majority of them are going to rinse out when you do your normal wash. I try not to use any silicones whatsoever, but there is one exception to that rule for me, which is the Paul Mitchell The Conditioner, which you guys know is my holy grail leave-in conditioner. It does have silicones in it, but the silicones are PG modified, which means they are water soluble, which means that it is curly girl friendly. That is why I say I'm somewhat of a modified curly girl, because I choose not to put silicones in my hair, but I am somebody who uses, you know, detangle tools in my hair. I am not afraid of using heat on my hair. In fact, you know, as a low porosity girl, heat really doesn't scare me as far as like blow drying on high heat, high speed. So it's like, no, I don't like the whole super strict nature of the curly girl method. There was a point in my life where I feel like I never would have said that, like, oh no, stay away from, you know, sulfates at all costs. But at this point, I mean, you guys know I am an advocate for clean hair, especially if you have low porosity hair. At the same time, I always look back at when my hair was its healthiest, when my hair was flourishing the most, when my hair was growing the most, when I was getting the most length retention and shine and curl definition, and just really a really healthy period in my hair journey. It's always been when I've been on the curly girl method. Like, I've gone on and off of it now 3 times, and every single time when I look back, you know, and note the times that I was like at least a modified curly girl, my hair was doing a lot better. So is it for black girls? No. Is it not for black girls? No. I really feel like that shouldn't be the question. I feel like the curly girl method is more so for people who maybe have low porosity hair. I feel like if you have normal to low porosity hair, you may see a lot more benefits to trying out the curly girl method. If you have low porosity hair, you are more prone to build up, and you want to kind of stay away from a lot of the same things that they suggest that you stay away from on the curly girl method. So it's like you almost are forced into a curly girl method type situation, just being low porosity and really trying to avoid buildup at all costs. But it just turns into one of those things. Do you want to go the full route and completely cut everything out? Curly hair is curly hair, but at the same time, we all know that, you know, the tighter the curl, the different methods you have to do sometimes to care for it, and, you know, different expectations and techniques that go along with it. So basically, that's always my first suggestion when it comes to any method. Like, yes, people create these methods. Yes, they're created, some of them at the end of the day, not even all of them, but, you know, some of them are created by, you know, licensed hairstylists, licensed cosmetologists, scientists, people who work with, you know, hair products and ingredients and chemists and all these other different things. They are formulated, you know, with research and education and, you know, trial and error behind them, but we all know that everything is not cut and dry. Everyone's hair is not the exact same, so, you know, just because something is a method that is geared towards people with curly hair, if the method don't work for you, it don't mean nothing is wrong with your curly hair. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with the method. It just may be things, you know, in the method that don't work for you, that don't work for your hair, and you always have to figure out how to make things, you know, customized and personal to you, and, you know, stop expecting things to be so like black and white, because I mean, hair isn't black and white. But you guys know I always like to see, you know, what your feelings and, you know, what's your statements, arguments, evidence, points, all that in the Presenting My Case series. Yes, it is for black girls if you have the time and the patience and the want to do that method. You know, if it has nothing to do with you being black. It's not like saying that it's not for you. There are black girls who have success on that method and black girls who hate that method, and, you know, white girls who have success on that method and white girls who hate that method. Also leave me your suggestions, your topics, you know, other things that you think we should or I should present my case on, and I will see all you guys in the next upload.